Hello and welcome to Morning Brew on Politics Social. I am Graham Hughes. Nice to have you with us on this fine grey morning in Durham. Hello to everyone in the chat. We've got Sarah Davis in there. We've got Martin Harrow. We've got Elle in there as well. We've got Diz. We've got Viper Scott. Hello, Veg Pie. Ernie Burns, Simon Smith. All the usual gang. Nice to have you with us this morning. Hello, everyone. If you'd like to join the socialites in the chat, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button, wait for approximately 60 seconds, and you'll be able to opine. But really important this, right? House rules, don't be a twat. That's it. That's the only rule. Don't be a twat. I.e., don't be a bigot, don't be a gobshite, don't be cruel, don't be mean, don't be nasty, don't be a misogynist, don't be transphobic, don't be homophobic. Don't be a racist. Don't be an anti-Semite. Don't be Islamophobic. It's all right. Just be nice. That's it. That's all we ask. Just be nice. You can have your own opinions on things. Do not insult me or the people in the chat here. Or you can, we will mute you and boot you. Because this is our little corner of the internet. It's ours. And we don't have to put up with your shit. If you want to pour shit on other people, go to Twitter. Or shitter, as I like to call it. Because in some languages, an X is pronounced as a sh sound. So if you put the X at the beginning of Twitter instead of the T, you get shitter, which is what it has become under Elon Musk, to the point at which now it is fucking unusable. And anyone still using Twitter to promote themselves needs to take a fucking long look at themselves in the mirror, right? Because at this point, Twitter is a crime scene. There is no two ways about it. You are partaking of actions on a platform. You are creating content. You are creating value for a guy in charge who's a Nazi, who is allowing his platform to be used to generate child abuse images. So let's see what's been going on. As we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, Grok is being used at the moment to generate millions of non-consensual sexualized images of real women and children. Those images have been publicly shared on X, not hidden in private chats. The UK government is now moving to criminalize creating these images and those supplying the tools, i.e. X. Ofcom has opened a formal investigation into X, but, you know, Ofcom doesn't really have any teeth and it'll probably take months to come to a conclusion because it always fucking does. Ministers are openly discussing removing X's right to self-regulate or even blocking it in the UK. It's already been blocked in Indonesia and in Malaysia, with other countries around the world looking at this going, we need to stop this. We need to stop this pedo factory. This needs to stop now. You know, this isn't just people who have got, like, daughters, people who've got, you know, loved ones in their life that they don't want this doing to. You know, this is everyone. This is absolutely everyone. And if you are not aghast at what is happening on Twitter and you know about it, then I'm sorry. But, like, there is an important part of your soul that's missing for starters. But secondly, I mean, you're basically outing yourself as a pedo or pedo's pal. You know, great pedo's pal. Like all these Tories and the fuckers going, oh, you can't stop paedophiles generating inappropriate pictures of children, sexualized images of children. I mean, you know, if a pedo wants to go up to a child and says, I want you to undress in front of me, it's all right as long as you only just get down to the underwear. Then that's not, is that a crime? Yes, it's a fucking crime. It is a massive crime. It's a crime that the right wing used to go fucking apeshit about. Until their fucking, you know, grift lords that they worship, like Trump and Elon Musk themselves, got done for this kind of shit, you know. And then suddenly it's a whole 180, isn't it? Big turnaround. Oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, really? Are they really hurting anyone? Are they? Yes, they fucking are. They're driving children to suicide. Do you understand? Do you understand how fucking serious this is? We're not fucking around here. This is one of the most horrific acts of criminality that we have seen in the 21st century so far. You want to talk to me about people coming from other countries and abusing our girls and our women? Yeah, you want to talk about that? Talk about Elon Musk. Talk about fucking Elon fucking Musk. Because this is no longer a culture war. This is a criminal law that we are talking about here. Yeah? Sorry, no longer a culture war. It is criminal law that we are talking about on Musk's platform. This wasn't an accident. This is how X works now. The outrage is the point. Do not engage. Do not share links of fucking X about how bad X is. Stop it. Get the fuck off that platform. It is doing you no good for your mental health. It's doing you no good for your physical health. Get the fuck off that platform. I'm going to say that again and again this morning. Musk fired most of the trust and safety and moderation teams that were working for Twitter when he took over immediately. He removed the guardrails that kept abuse, porn, and extremism from dominating feeds. It is a porno site. It has hardcore pornography all over it. He prioritized blue tick accounts regardless of their behavior. He prioritized Nazis. He prioritized pedophiles. He monetized engagement, not quality. He made it so that things going viral was more important than what was legal or what was morally right. Not that he has any fucking morals, but it was guaranteed that the worst material would always rise to the top. He's turned Twitter into 4chan, into this absolute beast of a site that is pumping out misinformation, Nazi adjacent. Well, it's not even Nazi adjacent. It's just fucking Nazi shit. Nazi propaganda. A Nazi propaganda shite that pumps out paedophilic images on the daily. You go on there. You might see something. And there's a chance that, that might be actually against the law for you to see that. Have you thought about that? I don't know. Listen, I'm going to put a goal in this morning because I'm going to be shouting a lot and kicking off and being a pain in the arse. So I doubt I'm going to generate much love. I don't think, but you never know. We could get love for the confetti. I don't know. We could get love around the fact that we all fucking hate Elon Musk. I've never met a nice South African in my head from fucking Spitting Image. The B-side of the Chicken Song. I've literally got that in my head this morning. I know it's not really applicable anymore because black people are allowed to be South Africans now, which they weren't in the 1980s. But still, although the word Republican really does fit quite nicely in to change from South African to Republican. I've never met a nice Republican. Anyway, let's move on. So X is now just, it's borderline unusable. In fact, I would say it's unusable. This is part of the enshittification of everything. And really, Elon Musk is at the forefront of the enshittification of absolutely everything. Feeds are flooded with bots, porn spam, and rage bait. Replies are dominated by blue tick grifters, scammers, and extremists. Legitimate users are drowned out or algorithmically buried. Try saying that after a couple of pints. News links are being throttled and stripped of preview, so you can't even see what the headline is. You can't see anything. You just see the picture. Now, it's shite. It's shite for spreading the truth. It's great for spreading pedophilic content and Nazi content. Great. Right-wing fucking pedos. This is what happens when you allow fucking knobheads to take over. Absolute fucking sketchy motherfuckers who run in the world right now. Sketchy little fucking weirdos. All fucking mooching up to the big fucking bully that is Trump. And maybe if I mooch up to him, he won't bully me. Anyway, blah blah CW is the first super chat of the morning. Thank you very much. Hard agree. The amount of content creators on YouTube defending X and saying it shouldn't be banned, it's giving massive pedophiles. Yes, blah blah CW, couldn't agree more. Stop defending it. Don't let anyone defend it. Just go on there and go, "Are you a massive pedo? Why would you want this? Why would you want this platform?" I'll give you the arguments are shite as well. The arguments for staying on there, it's as though there's no other alternatives. There's Blue Sky, there's Threads. They're just as shite, but at least they're not run by an avowed Nazi who has killed hundreds of thousands of children in the last year through his Doge cuts, shutting down of US aid. Yeah, news links are throttled. Journalism gets less traffic, less reach, less visibility. Conversations are replaced by engagement farming. And what used to be the public square is now just a shouting pit of abuse. like weaponized abuse. And the business model rewards abuse. Paying Musk gives you algorithmic priority. It means that fraudsters, Nazis, porn bots get boosted where normal users get suppressed. Bad actors can buy visibility. Good actors get buried. And the platform structurally favors harm to human beings. I mean, I suppose it's great for the bottom line, the bottom feeders, the grift lords like Donald Trump and Elon Musk. But Musk has turned this into a political weapon, using it to promote far-right parties across Europe, to attack journalists and critics, to shape political narratives for Trumpism, to apply, amplify disinformation, to punish dissent, and it's no longer a neutral platform, a marketplace of ideas. It's an ideological machine built to crush humanity. And it's full of fucking child porn. Child abuse. I mean, it's not even porn, it's child abuse. It's full of people who want to abuse children. And when we talk, content warning, right? Trigger warning. It's not just that they are undressing children, right, down to their underwear. They are also harming them in the pictures. So they are putting wounds, cigarette burns on the children, because that's the sick shit that gets them off. And the more that these sick, twisted, pedo motherfuckers see images of child abuse openly, freely on the fucking internet, the more likely they are to fucking act on that. Thousands of children, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of children around the world are now at a unique risk because the pedophiles have been empowered by this fucking platform. Get off it. Get off the platform. Get off Twitter. For the love of God, just walk away. You don't need to shut down your account in case someone else takes it. Just walk away. Just stop posting on it. Stop interacting with it. In fact, it's better if you don't shut down your account, because then you're costing them money because they've got all your old fucking tweets on there. Just walk away. Just walk the fuck away. This is like when you're coming out of an abusive relationship and you're like, oh, but you keep going back because the sex is good. No, fuck it. There's other sex out there. It's fine. Oh, but I've got friends on. You haven't. Fucking if your friends are the people on fucking Twitter, they're not your fucking friends. Find them in real life. Find them on Facebook. At least then you can see through their photo to see if they're actually a person or a fucking bot. I'd be talking to fucking Grok AI for all you know. Oh yeah, everything you say is amazing and you're very clever and creative. Yeah, all right. Irish Monk, €2 super chat. Brilliant. Account said monks should not live. A bot did. Account said monks should not live. A bot did. Monks should not live. Jesus Christ. Gillian says, I went on Twitter once and that was enough. Yeah, but I mean, people stay. People stay because their audience is there. They've built up a following of 50,000 people. They feel like their community is there. Because leaving it, they'll feel isolated. They'll feel like they're leaving their friends. But this is like emotional hostage taking, and the platform survives on this switching cost paralysis. People going, oh yeah, I know it's run by a Nazi, and I know it's full of paedophilia, but the other platforms aren't quite the same. And yeah, I understand that the role that Twitter had in our lives before fucking knobhead Elon Musk came along, but he's fucked it for you. Don't blame me. Don't blame me for saying get off it. Blame fucking Elon Musk for enshittifying something that was working fine. And he came along and he made it fucking horrific. And it's weird because the more toxic it gets, the harder for some people it feels to leave. Because it's like, well, it's a sunk cost fallacy. Fuck it off. It's the same thing that keeps people coming back to Vegas and the slot machines in fucking Blackpool. Sack it off. It is no good for you. It's no good for your mental health. It is no good for society. It is no good for humanity. It's no good for children who are going to face more abuse now because these pedos have been fucking empowered. The images that they are getting off to right now, generated by Grok, will lead them to commit crimes, to find more, because it won't be enough. And they feel like they've been empowered. This is like a fucking pedophile's fucking charter. They must be fucking loving this. And look, X is like a zombie platform. This is like the dead internet theory. I mean, 99% of it is bots talking to each other or having arguments. Automated arguments on request. I don't know. Advertisers have fled. Revenues collapsed. So Elon Musk doesn't care. He didn't buy the platform to make any money. He bought it to spread propaganda and pedophilia. That's why he bought it. Don't forget, his dad married his sister. Elon Musk's dad married Elon Musk's sister. I didn't even marry, just impregnated her twice. Revenues collapse, moderation's gone, users are miserable, abuse is everywhere, but it staggers on because people feel like they've got nowhere else to go. This is, I mean, it is a dictionary definition of a fucking toxic relationship right here. I don't want to be homeless. You won't be homeless. There's other platforms available. Yeah, it does mean starting again, but life's like that sometimes. You're in a relationship for 25 years and then suddenly it's not there anymore for reasons that might not be your fault. You might get divorced, your partner might die, but something might happen. And yeah, you do have to start again. That's fucking life. Grow the fuck up. I still miss MySpace, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. I got off it. Not because it was, terrible. It wasn't put together by a gobshite. Like what some of the other platforms are like. But this idea of staying to fight, it just doesn't work. Every post that you put on Twitter creates data, engagement, ad inventory. Every reply trains Musk's Grok algorithm that is creating these fucking images. You're just feeding the monster. You're just feeding the beast. Every viral moment makes X more valuable. The reason why Musk and X are like, oh, we're not even fucking changing this. We're going to continue on having child porn on our site is because they want the engagement. They want people to go over there. They want pedos to go check it out. And my God, there's a lot of fucking pedos out there. And they also want people to engage and go, oh, this is a very bad thing. And then people go, I don't think it's a bad thing. And then they can have an argument about free speech. Free speech does not include child abuse. You can't abuse a child and then claim you free. No, I was exercising my free speech. Something that doesn't even fucking exist in this country. Some Americanisms I fucking hate. You got this. What? Why are you talking like a baby? You have got this, right? Yeah, and you have it anyway, because whenever someone says that in a TV show or in a movie, the person they say it to invariably fucking dies. Sup. Instead of what's up, sup. No. Fuck off. On accident. Are you fucking kidding me? It's by accident, you daft twat. On purpose, by accident. This isn't fucking hard. Jesus Christ. My bad. What the fuck? What is it with this fucking baby talk from America? My bad. Oh, there's my bad. No, my mistake. Sorry. My bad. What the fuck language is that? Fuck off, America. It's bastardizing my fucking mother tongue. Gobshites. Anyway, every criticism of Twitter on Twitter feeds the machine. You can't dismantle a system by empowering it. By propping it up, and the law has hopefully now caught up. Non-consensual AI sexual imagery is being criminalised this week by the Labour government. Platforms hosting it are being investigated and fined. There's like I said, Malaysia and Indonesia have led the way by banning it. Other countries are likely to follow suit. X is in regulators' crosshairs right now, and this is hopefully the beginning of real consequences. And the days of pretending that X is just edgy are over. Are absolutely over. Like it's an absolute nonsense. And leaving is the only leverage that users have. You're not a government. You're not a multimillionaire. The one thing you can do is to stop engaging. Just fucking leave. Regulators move slowly. It's going to take them months. It's going to take fucking Ofcom months to do anything about this. Courts take years. They're gonna fine them 10% of world fucking revenue. They're gonna make out they don't make any money. You daft twats. And even if they do have to pay out a pittance in like 6 years' time, it'll be paid by the fucking insurance company that they pay in case they get fined for anything, in case they get sued. That's exactly what fucking Facebook did with Cambridge Analytica. It's exactly what the insurance company paid for it, not fucking Zuckerberg. Fucker. What can you do? What can you do today? Get the fuck off Twitter. Get the fuck off it. The user exits work immediately. Every account that leaves weakens the platform. And every creator takes their own value, their own content that they create with them. Use them on another site. Other sites are available. There are better places now. Blue Sky, Threads, even Mastodon. Well, I don't think anyone uses that anymore. You know, they exist and they are growing. If you just want to have a chat with your mates, get onto Discord. Find Politics Social Discord. Have a chat with the other people in the chat here. The other socialites. Get on fucking, I don't know, fucking Pokemon Discord or something. Go and have a chat with people. If that's what you want. At least you'd have a nice talk with them. You'd have to be like a tooth and nail all the time. That's someone who's defending pedophilia for some fucking reason. I mean, none of these platforms, other platforms, are perfect, but they're better than what X is right now. You know, they don't give me the false equivalence of like, oh, the platforms are just as bad. No, they're not. They might be a bit shit, but they're not promoting child abuse, the abuse of children, creating images for pedos to get off on. They are looking at these pictures that Grok is generating of children in their underwear with cigarette burns on their arms and with injuries committed to the children put there, created by Grok. They are masturbating to these pictures. Do you understand why you need to get off this fucking platform? Get off it. Healthy communities migrate. Toxic platforms should be left to fucking collapse in on themselves. And look, this is the reality check here. X hosts AI-generated sexual abuse material. Sexual abuse material. It amplifies fascism and racism, transphobia, xenophobia, homophobia. It rewards scammers and bots. It buries journalism and genuine users in favor of motherfuckers from anywhere who pay $7 a month. X exists to serve Elon Musk's power. That is it. Stop posting, stop replying, stop giving it oxygen. Take your audience with you. For the love of God, let Twitter die. Thank you. Okay, I'm off, says Pluff. Oh no, stay here, please. Gillian, sorry to hear this. Oh no, I'm sorry, Gillian. That sucks. Is defending CSAM free speech? Anyone who defends shitter needs to explain why they are defending that material, because if you're using it, you're defending the abuse, says Nick and Diff. Yeah, absolutely. They ought to put that location thing on every platform. Yeah, they should. They should. There's more to do. I'm not saying the other things are perfect, but Twitter's got to go. Twitter has got to go as an entity, as a thing. I mean, he's already got rid of the name. Do you know that the at Twitter account has been blocked? Yeah, they've got rid of it. They got rid of the at Twitter account. Fucking mad. But understandable. Cambridge Enshittified. Yes, that's very true. Oliver Brown. Gillian says, poorly and my elderly mum in hospital, 4 hour wait for ambulance. I hate January. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Gillian. That's fucking awful. That's shit. Diz got some better news. Diz, I've become a great aunt, says Diz. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I myself am a terrible uncle. I mean, a great uncle. No, I'm not a great uncle. Just a terrible one. Simon Smith says Ofcom investigating Twitter should be also go for GB News, GMB, and Talk TV for defending this PD file stuff as free speech. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is a concerted effort to empower people who are the worst people in society, the people who normally society would turn their backs on, but for some reason we are now in a world where, no, it's all right, because we've got to get the engagement. We've got to get the engagement. The engagement's really important. We need to find out what's going on, like there aren't any fucking news sites. Just really, really fucking grim. So yeah, I'm going to head over to the papers now in just a moment. Before I do, I've said maybe the UK blocking shitter will send a strong message to other platforms to clean up their act. Maybe they're not quite as bad, but bad nonetheless. Yeah. Super Rand, says L. Yes, Super Rand. What? Okay, so we'll have a look at the papers now. I hope. Have a look at the papers, please. Papers, please. Maybe we should call this section "Papers, Please." Is that a bit close to the bone with all the shit that's going on right now? The Times. I did the MAGA diet and lost weight, says by Harry Wallop. There's a guy called Harry Wallop. Is that his real name? Harry Wallop. That can't be his real name. That's a ridiculous name. Harry Wallop. Sunday Times journalist. What school? What school? Let's have a look. University College. He also attended Hermitage Primary School in Cheshire. Oh God, he's a Cheshire wanker. Fucking bad wool. Hermitage Primary School. High quality teaching. I don't know if it's a community school. Okay, all right. It's not a private school, but a name like that, Jesus. Okay, so hello, my name's Harry Wallop. I've got a MAGA diet. What's the MAGA diet? Is that like when you let all the food that was supposed to go to starving kids, you just let it all rot in a warehouse? Is that it? Is that the diet, or is it where you purposely give yourself HIV because you know the people who were told they were going to get these medicines and the medicines were going to come to them when they were giving birth, they were then denied that medicine at the last moment, and their baby was born with HIV, and the baby subsequently died, like what's happened to hundreds of thousands of babies all over Africa in the last year because of Elon Musk, because of Elon fucking Musk. About like that. Is that the diet? Jewish MP's school visit scuppered by pro-Palestine teachers. A visit by a Jewish MP to a school in his constituency was cancelled after a campaign by pro-Palestinian teachers and threats from parents to keep their children at home. Damien Egan, Labour MP for Bristol North East, was due to visit Bristol Brunel Academy in September, but the event was cancelled after protests were planned and teachers threatened to wear headscarves on the school that day. The campaign was led by the Palestine Solidarity Campaign and the National Education Union, the NEU. It's understood that a visit by Egan to a second school in the trust was subsequently abandoned by mutual consent. So that's kind of an interesting story there. It's right at the top of the page. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it is there. This is kind of interesting that that this is a story in that I think that if the Labour MP had been told that they weren't welcome because, for instance, of Labour policies, because of what they're doing to farmers or what they're doing to pubs or what they're doing to whoever, would this be such a story? I don't know. But the way that is framed in the Times, that is pretty fucking grim. If that's the case that they said, oh, we can't go because people are going to be protesting against you for being Jewish, for being not for being like mad pro fucking dickhead Netanyahu. You know, none of my Jewish friends are pro Netanyahu. None of them. Not fucking one. They're all fucking, you know, they all think Israel has a right to exist, which I do as well. They do not believe that Israel has a right to go to their neighboring country and kill everyone. Surprisingly. So yeah, that's a story that I'll need to dig into more. On the surface, that looks freaking horrific, but I'll obviously have to dig into that some more in the future. What else have we got along here? We've got UK troops set to swoop on Kremlin's shadow fleet. Special forces could target hundreds of tankers. British special forces are being lined up to storm Russian shadow vessel fleets. Storm Russian shadow fleet vessels. The Times can disclose elite soldiers trained to rappel onto ships from helicopters and capture their crews could target hundreds of illegal oil tankers after the government identified a new legal basis for the raids. That's kind of cool. Good. Honestly, good. Honestly, fuck Russia at the moment. Fuck Russia. It is fucking everything for everybody else. And don't forget, Russia funds a lot of the shit. I'll get into this in a moment, but like a lot of the shit that's going on right now is funded by Russia. Obviously, they had a big hand in Trump getting elected and also a big hand in Brexit. Okay, so Daily Mail here. The pain of downsizing has come as a complete shock by Nadine Dorries. Okay, well, maybe you shouldn't be such an awful writer and then you'd sell more books. I don't know. Fury over Labour's payout to Hermes Guantanamo client. Backlash as government approves substantial compensation to terror suspect once represented by Attorney General. A terror suspect who was represented by Keir Starmer's Law Chief has been handed a substantial payout by the UK, sparking outrage last night. Well, you know, that's the law. That's the fucking law. If you don't like it, change the fucking law. These are laws that were put in place before Labour came along. Labour didn't just come along and go, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give people who are terrorists, we're going to give them loads of money. No, these laws were already in place, and Labour doesn't have a say in what happens in the courts. That's the whole point. We have a separation of powers. They can't dictate to a court that is interpreting the British law in such a way that they're wrong. But whatever. By George, adolescent stars Owens, a Golden Globe winner at 16, state school lad, good lad from Wellington. We've got Starmer gives Musk ultimatum to end shameful AI images. As Ofcom launches investigation into creation of sexual pictures, the Prime Minister says X is profiting from disgusting abuse and directly warns billionaire, if you don't control Grok fast, we will act. I'm very sorry, I just realised that there is a picture of the frog-faced cunt, Nigel Farage. I'll just cover him up so you can't see him. And then there's a story above. Zahari begged Tories for peerage before defecting to reform. There it is, right there for your edification. Let's get into this. So Nadeem Zahari, the former Chancellor of the Exchequer, yes, for like 2 months, yesterday became the highest profile Conservatives who switched to refuck. This is after he had said that refuck was a bunch of Nazis, that he was a Conservative till he died. And there's a small thing that you need to know about Nadine Zahari, right? First of all, he wanted a gong. He wanted a lordship, a knightship, a peerage, a fucking peer head, a Blackpool peer. He wanted all of them, right? And because he owed the taxman £5 million and had to pay it back due to an accounting mistake. What a fucking mistake to make. He's pissed. He's pissed with the Tories for having to pay this money back. He's pissed with the Tories for, whatever. And so because they won't give him a gong, he's gone and joined Refuck, which is kind of ironic because what Refuck want to do, my friends, is this. They want to get people who are refugees, and when they declare their country safe, they want to send them back where they came from. Nadine Zahari was not born here. He was born in Iraq. Under Qasem, the leader before Saddam Hussein, his father was a high-ranking official in the Iraqi government. That's why he's got so much fucking money. And they fled. They fled after the rise of Saddam Hussein. They fled from Iraq because Qasem himself was executed by firing squad in 1963. And when your leader is executed by firing squad, you get the fuck out of Dodge, don't you? So this guy, Nadine Zahari, it's not the brightest fucking spark, do you know what I mean? But he went to a posh school, so you've got to listen to him for some reason. He's joined the party. Refugee joins party that wants to deport refugees. So, just like being able to travel the world, live anywhere you want, marry someone from anywhere else in the world, or be gay, or be trans, or be whatever with impunity, you have to be rich. You have to be rich now to be a refugee. If you're rich, you're one of the good ones. If you're part of a corrupt government and your daddy steals loads of money on the way out and comes to the UK with 2 suitcases filled with used £5 notes, yeah, you can stay. We don't care. Yeah, you're all good. You're all good. Give us money. They're not even pretending anymore. It's fine. I don't care where you come from as long as you got money. It's the people who are really fleeing war and persecution and don't have very much. They're the ones we don't want. We don't want them. We don't want to help people. We don't want to help people in their moments of fucking crisis. We don't want that. So the Zahari creep has joined now. He's joined with the dark side. Well, darker side. He's leapt onto the Tory lifeboat, which is Refuck UK. A small boat, one might call a small boat for Tory refugees. Not just refugees from the Tory party in this case, but an actual fucking refugee. An actual fucking refugee. Can you believe this shit? And he's joined. There he is. Next to the frog-faced gobshite. Laughing. And then we have some xenophobia, maybe. China's secret embassy threat to the city. It's about China's new embassy, which Labour are getting shit about, even though, ladies and gentlemen, it was actually the Tories' idea. The Tories actually gave the green light on this. But apparently previously redacted plans reveal hidden chamber alongside critical infrastructure. Starmer expected to approve Beijing's plans before meeting Xi later this month. And then we've got pubs face fresh blow with Reeves's £400 million raid on drinkers. God, what they're talking about now. Pubs face a fresh blow to next month as Rachel Reeves launches a £400 million a year raid on pints, spirits, and glasses of wine. Alcohol duty is set to rise by an inflation-busting 3.66% at the start of February, equating to about 2 pence on the price of a pint in the pub. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I couldn't give a fucking toss. If it was £2, sorry, it was 2 pence on top of the price of a pint before we voted for Brexit, I wouldn't care. If it was £2 on top of a price of a pint that we voted for, since Brexit, I'll be like, the cost of it before we voted for Brexit, I'll be like, oh, that's a bit of a shit. You've taken the cost of my pint from £2 to £4. That's really shit. Not happy about that. But at the moment, a pint in a pub, in a fucking pub here in Durham or in Liverpool, unless you're on, it's a fucking happy hour, it's a promotion, it's a student night or whatever the fuck it is, standard pub, go in, ask for a fucking pint, see how much change you get from a fucking tenner. Brexit did that. Nigel Farage did that. You want to ask why people don't want to go to pubs anymore? Because it's full of fucking gam-gams and the prices are too expensive. 2 things caused by Nigel fucking Farage and his disgusting, fucking horrible, privately educated gobshite mates. Fucking hate them. Fucking hate them. Not everyone who went to private school is a total gobshite, but unfortunately, a lot of people who went to private school are gobshites, and they have way more power than what their abilities should permit. Anyway, I'm going to give a super chat out now. Woohoo! Super chat to Yuri. Refuck, the revolving Tory door of country. Yes, you're absolutely right. I used to run a rough pub, and I came up with an aphorism that is very true. When is a criminal not a criminal? When they're a customer. Yeah. Wonder how much the pints have cost due to Brexit. Most of it. This is odd here. 1 minute I'm angry, next I'm laughing. Kind of sums up my BPD. Well, yeah. I mean, that's me. That could be in my business card. 1 minute I'm angry, and the next I'm laughing. It's got fucking my chair keeps squeaking. Stop squeaking, chair. I need to get some WD-40 on that. In fact, I will write that in my thing here, so I remember. £4.40 for carling in my local, says Andy. Yeah, go into town. My Kurdish other half says Nahari, not even a Kurdish name, obviously not the right sort of Kurd. Zahari, not Nahari. Has anyone told Kevin Holland-Rake, MP, I still can't get wine by the pint in my local? Yeah. Always follow the money. Yes, Gillian, especially when it comes to super chats. give me the money. Police ignored threat to Maccabee as activists plotted against players. This is going back to this story. Sorry, I'll need to point this out. It's going back to the story from last summer when Maccabee Tel Aviv, whatever, were supposed to be playing a team that is known to have thugs in their supporter group, and they didn't want trouble going down in Birmingham where there's lots of Muslim people, and they were worried about the unbridled Islamophobia on the streets. A team, the Maccabees, have been censured by the Israeli authorities. They have played matches behind closed doors because they haven't let the fans in because they knew there'd be riots and a fight. So we took the police took a look at that and went, yeah, if that's the situation, we don't want to add fuel to the fire. And yet these papers are going on and on and on about it, trying to get the chief of police sacked, which I don't think should happen in this case. I don't know if other things that chief of police has done that are bad, but as far as I know so far, as far as I believe, that this doing what he did was a matter of public order. He needed to keep public order, and he did. He fucking did. What are the daft stories down here? We've got Herma behind Guantanamo payout. Zahari turns reform after period snub. Armed Iranians fight back against security. US is a banana republic, says ex-Fed chairman. It absolutely is. When we go back to this Herma behind Guantanamo payout, this is Lord Herner who advises Labour. And this is where they're trying to stick one to Labour. for taking law advice from a guy who represented a terrorist once, perhaps, at some point. And you're like, well, yeah, it's the cab rank system. You don't get to choose who you represent in these cases. It's the next one along. So they were trying to get, like, Starmer defended these bad people in the past. He's like, yeah, that was my job. But then I was the public prosecutor and I fucking put a load of bastards in jail. I changed the rules and got, things actually sorted and got a knighthood for it. Not that it's done him much good, but in the polls anyway. But yeah, they're trying to distract from the very horrific fact that the person advising the Tory party on matters of law is currently representing Roman Abramovich, who is trying not to give the millions, the billions that he has from the sale of Chelsea Football Club. He's trying to keep that money for himself. He doesn't want to give it to the people in Ukraine, which is what he said he would do. And that's being tried to be forced through now. But it's a bit of a conflict of interest, my friends. A little bit, because it's not like he represented Roman Abramovich in the past. He's doing it now. He's doing it. He's sitting in on meetings of the government, this lawyer, and then he's going and meeting up with Abramovich. Yeah, a bit of a conflict of interest. There you go. I gave up alcohol, tobacco, and glyphosate for Mary Jane. Cool. And then the northeastern parts of Midland tend to have lower average prices, sometimes under £4.60 for standard beers. £20 for a pint of cider and a rum and coke, says Sean. Yep. The highest with more averages exceeding £6 and premium options reaching £7 or more in London, says Reagan Elite. Look, I was out in Liverpool over Christmas, and honestly, the price of... I think I got like 3 drinks and it was 30 quid. I was just like, what the fuck? So yeah, maybe once a year you'll go out to the fucking pub. Whereas back in the day, people used to go every day. After work, even during work. They'll go for a liquid lunch. Yeah, everyone go for a liquid lunch these days, do they? Fuck. Can't fucking afford it. Unless you work in the city. So yeah, next up we've got this. I mean, this is absolutely mental from the Daily Telegraph here. I'll bring it up in a moment. There we go. Daily Telegraph. Report warns green... Oh, God, what is this? Fuck off, Mr. Print, you fucking cunt. Report warns Green Drive could cost Britain's £9 trillion, far above official figures. Tell truth on fantasy cost of net zero push. Ed Miliband net zero project could land the taxpayer with a huge bill of £9 trillion, a report has claimed. Who wrote this report? Tell me who this wrote. Officials have deliberately and consistently undermined the cost of heat pumps, renewables and electric vehicles. According to the paper from who? Who's the paper from? Please tell me who the paper's from. Who's the geniuses behind this paper? It's the Institute of Economic Affairs. The Institute of Economic Affairs, a right-wing think tank funded by the oil industry. Sorry for shouting. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? How are they allowed to put this on the front cover of a newspaper? How can they get away with this? This is obscene. It is ridiculous that they are allowed to put these lies from a lying piece of shit think tank funded by the oil barons, by the Russians, by the Saudis, by the Qataris, by the Bahrainis, by the Emiratis. We don't fucking know where the money comes from. It's all kept mysterious. And yet, for some reason, there's a fantasy cost. There's a fantasy. This is the fact that it's going to cost us $9 billion is a fucking fantasy cost because it will save us money in the long run. You fucking dickheads. Any upfront costs when it comes to making our grid, our energy grid, our means of transportation, heating our homes, green will be offset massively by the savings we will make down the line. Energy sovereignty will mean that we unshackle ourselves, break those fucking bonds that bind us to these tin pot dictatorships around the fucking world who get to tell us what to do. Tell us how to live, you know? How about we create our own power? How about we do that instead of relying on these motherfuckers That mean that our transport costs and our heating bills shoot up every time some Johnny No Stars fucking general decides to hold a coup d'etat in a country that you can't even fucking spell, never mind know where it is on the fucking map. I mean, for fuck's sake. The oil effects don't want that, do they? Do they though? You know, not good for their business model. You know, us being an a country of energy sovereignty. Why aren't people making the case for this like crazy motherfuckers? I mean, Zach Palante, I've got time for him. He's a decent guy. You know, but why isn't he going nuts about this? This would be like the fucking killer arguments. Why do you want to be beholden to Tim Pock dictatorships halfway around the fucking world? Why do you want to be bound to them for your energy needs when we don't need to be? We have 40% of all the potential wind energy of our entire continent swirling around these islands that we call home. 100,000 people pay to read the Daily Express each day. They actually buy it with money. They buy it, you know. Is it painful? Is it painful for like these dickheads, these gams to think for themselves? Does it hurt their heads? Thinking, does it make their head hurt? Like Malibu fucking Stacy? Does he just have a fucking humiliation king? I don't fucking know. I'm just, yeah. Daily Express can fuck all the way off and then, you know, get to the end of the universe and then it can fuck off some more. Back to the papers. Okay. Oh, fuck off. Advert for Vistaprint. I felt completely different. James Nestor on the art of breathing. Oh, thanks for that. Industry season 4. Top tier drama. Cool. It doesn't feel real. Adolescent star Owen Cooper wins at the Golden Globes. There he is. He's won. Isn't that the thing at the top of the you know, in Superman? Isn't that the Daily Planet logo? Looks like that. ADHD care cost soars. NHS turns to private sector. The NHS is overspending by 164 million a year on attention deficit hyperactivity disorder services, with an increasing amount going to unregulated private assessments. A Guardian investigation has found. Analysis showed that total spending on NHS ADHD services is expected to be more than double the existing budgets. Further data shows that the amount spent on private ADHD services has more than tripled over 3 years. Yeah, because people are more finding out that they've got ADHD. Like myself. So yeah, how about we don't privatize it, because privatizing it costs more money. How about we run it all through the NHS? That'll save you. There you go. I've just found a clever way. I found a secret trick. I found a little cheat code to save you some fucking money. How about, and this is going to sound crazy, how about you don't give the money to a private company? How about that, eh? Sound good? Yeah. You voted for this. Did I? I voted. I voted a lot of times in my life. I never voted for fucking refuck or the Tories or for their daft fucking Brexit shite, which has cost us a fucking fortune. Great if you're rich, though. God, those rich bastards have made so much money out of Brexit. It's painful. Have a look at how much money the wealthy have made in the last 10 years. It's that fucking vote. I've absolutely been raking it in. The rest of us, you know, our economy didn't grow for 15 years. 15 years. And if you don't believe me, go and have a look. Go and type into Google or whatever, GDP of United Kingdom in dollars, right? Not in pounds, in dollars, from 2007 to 2022. It was 3 trillion at the start, 3 trillion at the end. 15 fucking years. 15 years. No fucking growth at all. Because it was all stolen. It was stolen from us by the rich fucks. It was, you know. Iran downplays protests at anti-US crowds rally, and Zahavi moves to reform amid peerage bid claims, which was spoken about. I mean, yeah, the fact that he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it up him when it comes to actually, not getting a gong. He doesn't like not getting a gong. Where's my fucking gong? Where's my shiny medal? What a silly twat. Anyway, so we'll head over to the newspaper now, I think. Zahavi begged Tories for peerage before defecting to reform. It's so pathetic. What a pathetic character. But this is actually really, really good for us, because we need to convince people that reform is just Tory light. It's Tory light blue. It's a Tory fucking refugee boat. It is a boat for refugees from the Tory party. And in Zahavi's case, an actual fucking refugee. He left because he didn't get a gong. How pathetic. How pathetic. But it gives us an in. Because if you are talking to someone who hates the fucking Tories but is thinking of voting reform because they're different, you say, well, they're not. 99% of them are fucking Tories. 99% of the people in refuck were former Tories, are former Tories. Some of them worked in the Tory fucking government at the last, in the 14 years between twatty twat bags getting in 2010, Cameron, the pig fucker, guy who fucks pigs. I mean, you got to be a bit mad, haven't you, to vote for a guy who fucks pigs? But, that's a Tory voter for you. And then he said, we're going to have an in-out referendum. And all these fucking little Tory mates who all went to private school all played fucking Tom Tug and Hat together. That's the game where they all take a tug into a hat. And the last one to, they have to wear it for the rest of the day. That's the game. It's the game they play. People in charge of this country play games like that where they have to fuck a pig. Where they have to wag into a hat. Because that's the way it's always been, darling. I mean, you got to be mad as a fucking hatter to vote for these absolute fucking cretins who are just, all they're doing quite obviously is feathering their own nests. Absolutely feathering their own nests. And then all we get all day is fucking false equivalents. Like Boris Johnson, he was Prime Minister during lockdown. And when we couldn't go to our friends' funerals because they were maxed out at 30, right? He was having a fucking house party every night. People were having sex in the cupboard and throwing fucking wine up the walls and breaking kids' swings and cocaine everywhere. Little baggies of cocaine for the Tories. And the Tory members vote. They paid for that. Members of we paid for it because I'm sure they bought that cocaine that they were snorting in Number 10 from their wages that they got from being ministers, from being, the Prime Minister, for working for the government. We pay for that. We pay for the civil servants. We pay for the police officer who stood outside Number 10 and let everyone in with a suitcase full of fucking booze. And yet, there are Tories out there, refuck fuckers, who are so hard of thinking, so thick, so like like self-loathing and so pathetic and so like these people. I in a way, I'd feel sorry for them, but like back in the day, if you were that thick and rich, you would be thrown into what we call the lunatic asylum. If you were that thick and poor, you'd just be left to sit on a wall with a piece of straw between your teeth to, get the moon in a bucket or laugh yourself off the wall. But I mean, for most rich people who were just that thick, they were put aside. And at the time, we thought that was, supposedly for their own good. And we thought, that's not very fair, is it? But no, it turns out they did that for the good of society. Because when these thick fucking morons get into a position of power, when Matt Hancock, privately educated, of course, becomes our Secretary of State for Health during a pandemic, tens of thousands of people die. They die because of his incompetence and the grift going on. So Boris Johnson having a party every fucking night, it's the same as Keir Starmer having a beer. It's just the same, really, if you think about it. Boris Johnson getting an £800,000 loan off someone facilitated by some cunt who ended up running the BBC. How did that happen? That's the worst thing that can possibly happen. Rachel Reeves fails to tick a fucking box when she's filling out a form. Actually, the people who are in charge, the management company in charge of property she owns, fail to tick a fucking box. And it's just the same, really, if you think about it. They're all the same. Yeah. Anyway, so the main story on the newspaper, if we go back to that, is UK under-16s could be banned from social media within months. Good. Like, I'm sorry, but these social media companies are not going to fucking sort themselves out. And with what's happening with X right now, no, fuck off. Just get rid. There are children right now taking pictures of other kids in school, other children in school, their peers, right, in school, and they are taking them home. I'm not even taking them home. They're just sitting there on their phones in school, going on to Grok, going on to Twitter, and generating a picture of their classmate in underwear and then showing it to their grotty little mates in school. You know how horrible little boys are, right? They're showing this picture of this girl to their mates, and they're all laughing about it. Think about what that does to the psyche of a teenage girl who's already got body image problems, might have eating problems. I mean, you don't know. You just don't know. But oh my God, giving kids that kind of fucking power, that power to bully mercilessly is just horrific. So yeah, last month I'd be talking about this ban coming in Australia, and I was trying to say, well, I think they should have these phones that can't get onto the adult material, but you can have the sort of, the WhatsApp Junior or Facebook Junior or Snapchat Junior, which doesn't allow you to do certain things. It's a completely different program. It's only made to work on children's phones. We have completely different hardware on children's phones, so you can't have this sort of, you can't jailbreak them. It's just not possible. Yeah, we could. I was all for doing that, but there's no appetite for doing that. It's going to take fucking ages. So just ban it. Just fucking ban it for under 16s. Let children be children. I never forget how disgusted I was by the pictures of trolleys full of champagne being rolled into Downing Street after the 2015 election win. Smug bastards. Yeah, true. You pay property management companies to do things right. You shouldn't have to check their homework. Yeah, indeed. And Captain Coconut, they died because of the hidden conservative edict. If they did not pay into society, they do not deserve to be in it. Well, they killed tens of thousands of old people because they sent people who had COVID into nursing homes on purpose to kill them. The same as back in medieval days when they used to fling the corpses, plague-ridden corpses, over the walls of a castle, or the city walls of Dubrovnik or Chester or whatever fucking castle was under siege, every city was under siege, and the disease would spread. That's exactly what they fucking did. A Bane Legends, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. It's very kind of you, sir. The stupid thing is, kids will remember who didn't protect them when they go to the ballot box in the future. It's electorally suicidal. Yeah. Yep. I absolutely agree. But I mean, the people still defending Twitter. The people still defending this shit. I mean, get your kids away from them. If you know anyone who is still defending Twitter now, who's saying, oh, it's freedom of speech, get your kids away from them. And if you're friends with them on Facebook, unfriend them. And also, you're going to have to take down pictures of your kids. If you've got pictures of your kids or your grandchildren, and I know that you love them and they're great, but if you've got those pictures online, people will use those pictures. They will take your kids' pictures, and then they will do horrific things to the images and then pleasure themselves looking at him. Okay, so just take them down. Just get rid of it. Just don't put your pictures of your kids online. Just do not do it. Because it's just ammunition for these sick motherfuckers. You're infected enough. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. I couldn't be with my dying partner during COVID, but the Conservatives could have parties. I hate the cons with all of my soul. I'm so sorry, Yuri. That's really fucking grim. You couldn't be with your dying partner and they're having fucking parties. There's a lot of people who will never, ever forgive the Tories for what they did. And this is why it's so important that we stress that refuck are just the Tories. They're just a new name for the Tory party. And it needs to be fucking destroyed. It needs to be absolutely destroyed by any means available to us. Because if those motherfuckers get back in, what are they going to do? What the fuck are they going to do? How are they going to make our lives better? They're going to go after immigrants. They've got no plan for the future. They've got no plan for Britain. They don't sit there going, oh, by 2040, this is what we want Britain to look like. And it's a wonderful, happy place where there's very little crime. And everyone gets the education that they deserve. And everyone gets the opportunities in life they deserve. And that people get the healthcare that they require. They don't want that. They don't want that world. They don't want that Britain. They want a Britain where we're all at each other's throats all the time. When the vast majority of us who are not rich, who are not privileged, are treated like shit by the privileged few, by the 7% who went to private school, who get to tell all our stories for us. We don't get to tell our own stories. Don't forget, if you went to private school, you can walk into any publisher in this country and say, I want to write a book for children, and they will let you. If you didn't go to private school and you do something fucking amazing, fantastic, and you win awards and win prizes and give TED Talks and you appear on TV and you host your own TV show, if you didn't go to private school, mate, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance. And isn't it funny that now and again, when some state school lads or girls get to make something, get to actually make something on TV. What do we get? Adolescents. Stephen Graham, mixed race Scouser, went to a state school. Owen Cooper from Warrington went to a state school. Just a normal lad. And what a fucking story. What a story they told. Evan Doherty, she went to state school. What a story they fucking told. We don't get that story. We get stories about rich people, and the trials and tribulations of the rich. And when we occasionally get a kitchen sink drama, it's invariably created by some very, very wealthy person who lives in a country pile somewhere, about how they think the lower orders behave. And they're always really miserable, aren't they? Those kitchen sink dramas are always fucking miserable. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing when we're telling our own stories, but when someone else comes along and goes, "Oh, your life is shite. I'm going to make loads of movies about how shite your life is." Can you not do that? Can we maybe tell some joyous stories, please, for a change? Are we allowed to do that? No. Breaking news. Trump says countries doing a business with Iran face 25% tariff on US trade. They don't know because the tariff's not paid for by the country. It's paid for by the consumers in America. Best thing, just stop trading with the US. That would be good. That would be good. You're in effect, no. Farage always wants to lead the Conservative Party, and he will achieve it by assimilated what's left of the cons. Yeah, the con artists. Sadly, a large number of people have already forgotten what the Tories did. Yep, because thinking is hard. Thinking makes their head hurt, I assume. There's a story on the Star here. First of all, there's a picture there of Jennifer Lawrence in what might be one of the best dresses ever of all time ever. It is just an absolutely phenomenal dress that she is wearing. Well done to whoever made that dress, and well done for Jennifer Lawrence for wearing it. And then we've got this gobshite from Greg Wallace, who's not sorry about being a gobshite. We've also got the Metro here with crash bang gangs walloped. Metro joins drug bust as Met reveals its war on Turkish mafia and county lines groups. Raids are key to fall in homicides, say police. So as we've seen over the last few days, the police have been releasing figures. The police have been releasing these figures about homicides in London, which are down to their lowest level for fucking years. And London is an incredibly safe place compared with other cities around the world, particularly compared to Washington, D.C., which until very recently had a murder rate of 20 in every 100,000. Whereas in the UK, on average, we have a murder rate of 0.95. Wow. And that's a rate. That's not overall. I know America's a bigger country, and I know that statistics fry the noodles of people. But this is per 100,000 people, Americans, 20 dead, murdered in their city. In the UK, England and Wales, it's 0.95%. Just saying. Generally, across the board in America, their homicide rate is 5 times what it is here. You're 5 times more likely to die in America than you are over here. And you are over 1,000 times more likely to be shot dead in America than over here. In fact, for being shot dead in school, there hasn't been anyone since the beginning of this fucking millennium. Since the year 2000, we have not had a single kid shot dead in a school in the UK. In America, over 750. Over 750 children shot dead in the same period. In fact, when you just look at how many children are shot dead in schools or otherwise, during the Iraq War, more children were dying in America by being shot by Americans than troops were dying in the Iraq War. It was actually safer for kids probably to be in Iraq. Safer for them to be in Yemen. But, you know, that's the world, that's the future. That's the future that Farage wants for this country. Farage, Nigel Farage, the gobshite, you know, who's really wants to have his posh bank account, doesn't he? This is all they want. You know, you say to a refuck fucker, what do you want? They want to get rid of all the immigrants. What, including Zahari? Do you want to get rid of him as well? You just joined your party. That's a bit rude. And then after that, there's nothing. Richard Tice wants to stop children from wearing ear defenders, autistic children from wearing ear defenders in school. That's what he wants to stop that. And Nigel Farage's pet project is that anyone who's got a few million should be able to open a Coots bank account, because that's really getting to the issues that are affecting people all over this country. What a gang of gobshites. Crime is falling and has been for years. National statistics say so, and British Crime Survey. Yep, it absolutely is falling because, I don't know, maybe our parents' generation were just a bunch of fucking psychopaths. How many serial killers are on the loose at the moment? None. We don't know of a single serial killer who's like, there's no string of murders at the moment. Unsolved string of murders that are going on. In the 1980s, there were up to 20 serial killers at any one time in Britain, killing people, and we couldn't catch them. Now, there's a couple of things here, a couple of factors. Obviously, there's more surveillance now. There's more technology with DNA, fingerprint technology, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But also, I think people are just killing less. I think people enjoy killing less than they did, and that might be because of all the lead that our parents' generation unfortunately ingested throughout their life. Not their fault necessarily, but when there's lead paint on the playpen that you're in as a baby, when there's lead in the water because all the pipes are made of lead, when there's lead in the petrol, so you're literally inhaling gaseous lead every fucking day when you walk to work. I can see why, fucks you up. But lead is known for messing up your brain, messing up your reasoning functions. That's why a lot of older people, and I will stress, as always, not all boomers have lead poisoning, but a lot do, I think. Yeah. Graham is dying off, yeah. And it's just not fashionable to be a serial killer these days. Is Sarah Lancashire in the private school mafia list? Reminded me of her when you mentioned boring kitchen sink drama, so I checked. Yep, she did. Yeah. New Tory name. How about National Service Democratic Arseholes? Obviously the NSDA. NSDA. Obviously the abbreviation. National Service Democratic Arseholes. NSD. I don't get it. Not safe for Democratic Association. Lead in petrol. Also, there's a report that firing guns causes brain damage and concussion. Doesn't surprise me. There'll be serial killers still here, but they are less common. Well, Caesar Dizzle, there's no one at the moment. It would be in the news if there was a string of murders being committed, the same MO, same type of person being killed, with the same killing instrument. There isn't at the moment. I mean, there might be at some point, but the last serial killer that we know of was, 10 years ago? It might have been Lucy Letby. We don't know. Some people think that she's innocent. So there you go. Lead in petrol. So that they'll also be able to reuse those armbands they have in storage from the 1940s. CFCs and the lead in petrol is a hell of a legacy, says Urban Legends. Yes, indeed. Okay, so back to the FTSE, the Financial Times here. Former Fed chiefs attack emerging market style investigation of Powell. So when they say emerging market style, they mean third world. They mean Tin Pot dictatorship. Obviously, that's not the politically correct way of referring to these places, but they essentially mean banana republics. This is the thing. This is the kind of thing that you see in banana republics. So on Sunday night, we were informed by Jerome himself that we would be that Trump had brought investigations into him. He's got the DOJ to investigate Jerome Powell, who is the head of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, it's a bit like the Bank of England in this country, where they set the interest rates, and they are supposed to be a separate entity to the government. Now, what's ironic about this is Jerome Powell's not a great guy. Like, he is not a great guy, but it's possible for Trump to be even worse. It's a bit like Maduro. Not a great guy, okay? But Jerome Powell was put in place by Trump, by literal Trump. He put him in place. And now he's like, oh, no, you got to go. You got to go because you won't do what I say. What does Trump want him to do? He wants him to lower interest rates. But lowering interest rates in the current situation that America finds itself in, with Trump's madness, his overseas wars, his casual spending $400 million on a fucking ballroom, a bollock room for his fucking ego, all that, yeah. And the crypto fucking bubble and the AI bubble is set to fucking burst at any moment. Yeah. If he lowers inflation rates, it could lead to runaway if he lowers interest rates, it could lead to runaway inflation. And so he's not doing it. And Trump is really pissed off about this. He's not lowering them. He's not lowering the rates fast enough. So what does he do? He launches a criminal investigation into the head of the Fed. Yeah. I mean, just what the fuck? And Trump has denied knowledge of this probe, by the way. This is the second probe into someone who works at the Fed as well. There was a woman in September who they investigated over mortgage irregularities or something. So there you go. We'll go back into the papers now. The papers. So there he is. There's the Fed head there. All right, Fed head. Not a nice guy. Not a nice guy, but still Trump worse. Zahari conquers fear of Farage to join Reform as highest value Tory defector. Fall in net migration poses political and social puzzles. Net migration peaked at almost 1 million in 2023 under the Tories, and now has fallen to pre-Brexit levels with tougher immigration visa rules and new restrictions on settlement still to take effect. Some analysts suggest that the rate might dip below zero in the short term. That outcome would have an impact on politics, shifting the ground under the prevailing debate, which would also have consequences for the Checo, but the fall of 100,000 in net migration likely to cut revenues by £7 billion a year. Because, say it, whisper it quietly, we need immigrants! You stupid fucking cunts! Why do people think we don't need immigrants? Oh, because they're idiots, that's why. We need immigrants, we need them. Because we're not having enough kids. Because it's too expensive to have kids. So what you do is you get kids from other countries. It's a smart move. It's not. I know it upsets a lot of people in this country, especially if those kids aren't the right colour. But what you do is you wait till the kids have grown up a bit, so you don't have to pay for their education, and then they come over here as fully formed adults you can put to work. You can't put actual children to work. See, that's the problem with kids in this country. You can't put them to work for years. You can't send them down the mines like you used to be able to. So what you do is you take a fully formed human being from another country who happens to pop out their mum in a different coordinate, a longitude and latitude, and you invite them over here. And you say, here's a visa, come over. And they go, okay, we'll do. And then they work. And while they work, they create wealth for this country. They generate revenue for the exchequer to then spend on things like, I don't know, fixing the potholes in the road, getting down NHS waiting lists, making our schools so they're not fucking falling apart from rack. All that kind of shit we need money for. But there's a bunch of people in this country, racist mostly, who are thick as pig shit, and all they do is run around going, I don't like people of different colours. Absolute fucking insanity. To turn the argument against people from other countries. But it's, it is a sting in the tail for the dickheads who voted for Brexit, because they're like, oh, I'm going to vote for Brexit to get rid of all the brown people. How's that going? How's that going for you, Brexiters? You're going to get rid of all the brown people, are you? Hate to break it to you. Anyway, let's go back to the briefing here at the top of the page. Top right. Hargreaves Landown taps Vanguard for chief. Ooh, rude. I used tap to mean something else. X warned over deepfakes. Exxon Mobil on warning. Donald Trump said he might block the US oil major from investing in Vietnam after Chief Darren Woods last night described the country as uninvestable, which is completely true. Oh no, you're going to stop us investing in that country that we have no interest in investing in. Oh, stop. You're hurting me. Ow, ow. Says ExxonMobil. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to dig for fucking oil in bloody Venezuela and make their own oil that they're digging in bloody Canada worth less. Urbane Legends, thank you very much for that wonderful, wonderful super chat that's come in. Thank you. That is very kind of you. Ironically, in 10, 20 years' time, countries will be competing for immigrants, trying to outbid each other. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because we will be desperate. We will be desperate for people to come from other countries. And I guess all the people who moaned about immigrants now, in the future, will all apologise. For the shit they left for future generations. Oh, no, that's not going to happen, is it? Chris C, thank you very much for the 7th super chat of our run of hopefully 10. Refuck is a nursing home for failed Tories. Yes, it is. Call it a refugee boat. Call it a small boat for refugee Tories. You're hitting all the notes there, aren't you? People hate the Tories. People don't like refugees because they've been told not to like refugees by the Tories. And they've been told not to like boats, small boats in particular, lifeboats almost. So this is the sinking ship of the Tory party, and the little boats come up alongside, and it's piloted by the bollocked face foghorn of ignorance, Nigel fucking Farage, an idiot's idea of a clever person, a moron's idea of someone who should run this country. Because he's posh. Standing there with a pint and a bifter so he looks like one of us. He's not one of us. He's a fucking lizard person. He's a fucking lizard. He's a fucking gobshite. Cold-blooded motherfucker. Not a nice lizard, obviously. NHS data head selected. Melanie Iverson, who led Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine push, has been picked to head the data research health data research service. Cool. Trump turns on heat on Iran, which we talked about yesterday. Corporate debt sales rise. Japan PM eyes snap poll. So they're considering calling an election as early as next month. Using her high approval ratings to reclaim her Liberal Democratic Party's parliamentary majority. And then finally, isolation app grips China. An app called Are You Dead? That checks on people living alone has been the most popular paid Apple Store download in China in a sign of rising concerns created by shifting demographics. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And there you go. I think Graham may have missed a super chat. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, I did. George only. Thank you very much. Tory UK. Yes. Yes, George. I think I actually used that exact that exact wording on a comment I left on someone's video yesterday. Tory UK. I think I left it on the TikTok of the news agents, I think. I think Graham may message. I've read that one. Andy, with any luck, they do live by themselves. You know what I mean? Meant just adding that. What? What? How the hell do these ICE characters live with themselves? Well, because some people are fucking scumbags, right? But they're kept in line because they don't want to be seen as fucking scumbags. They understand enough in their little lizard brains that if they behave horrifically to people, then people won't want to hang out with them anymore. You know, people won't want to be their friends. People won't want to be their lover. People won't want to spend any time in the vicinity of this gobshite, right? So what a lot of gobshites do is they pretend not to be a gobshite. So they mask their gobshiteness in polite company. And what's happened here is the physical masks have gone on, which means that the metaphorical mask has come off, and they are now a free license to kill, like a really shit James Bond, like a fucking Temu James Bond. These Gestapo motherfuckers who are currently going door to door, throwing people out of their homes, put them into camps, just like the Nazis did, and shooting women in the face, just like the Nazis did. For doing absolutely nothing wrong. Saz, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. It's very kind of you. That's fair enough, Daz. We probably agree on a lot more than we disagree on. Just got off on the wrong foot. Don't fight people. You missed yesterday's morning brew. I'm sorry to hear that, George only, but I'm glad you're here now. And Martin has got he's got in with the £2 super chat there. Thank you. Almost there. We're almost there. Come on, let's do it. One more super chat. One more super chat, and I will release the confetti. We'll do it together. Come on, let's do it together. It'll be fun. Lizard people, says Andy. Thanks, Martin. Are giraffes long-necked horses or horses long-necked giraffes, eh? That's got you thinking. Camelopardalis. They're camel leopards. Like half camel, half leopards. Viper Scott. Awesome. Scott, you. Thank you so much. You know what I can do now. 3, 2, 1. Release the confetti. Yes. We got the confetti. Thank you very much for the confetti. We can now go about our business. Go about our business. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to just jump into the chat now. If you want to just put in before I go, because I've still got about 9 minutes actually before I was going to head off. So you've got me for a little bit longer, if that's what you want. If that's what you desire. And in the meantime, is there anything I've missed? Is there anything that you wanted to bring up this morning? I mean, this 25% tariffs. He's already put 100% tariffs on people. Who cares? And then there's a wonderful story on the BBC called "We Were Tricked." We were tricked. Right? Oh God, let's read this together. Come on. This is fun. We'll do it together. It'll be fun. Sorry, I'm just moving some windows around from one screen to the other, so I'm looking in the right direction when I'm trying to do this thing. Anyway, right. Okay, so let's go to the papers. Okay, we were tricked. How one woman lures foreign men to fight on Russia's front line. So, you see, the thing is, right? There's a thing called the Darwin Awards, which is given to people who are so fucking thick they do daft shit like this. Flames lick around the edges of Omar's passport. It's burning well. An unseen woman says in Russian in the video. Omar, a 26-year-old Syrian construction worker, has been deployed for about 9 months at the front line of Russia's war in Ukraine. When the clip arrived on his phone, he knew the woman's voice. It was Polona Alexandrovna Randnich, who he says helped him sign up to fight for Russia, promising lucrative work and Russian citizenship. But now she was angry. In a series of voice notes from Ukraine, Omar, speaking under a pseudonym for his safety, describes how he ended up trapped and terrified in a war zone. He says, let's say this word right. So it's Azarnik. Azarnik had promised that if he paid her $3,000, she would ensure he stayed in a non-combat role. But he says he was sent into battle with just 10 days of training, so he refused to pay, and eventually she responded by burning his passport. Now, I have a bit of sympathy. I've got a bit of sympathy here, because this is a guy who's a Syrian construction worker. Do you know what I mean? He's grown up in a war zone, essentially, over the last, since the Arab Spring in 2011. And the three-way war between the people who didn't want al-Assad in charge, the people who didn't, the people who did, and then ISIS joined the mix, and then the I don't know, the Americans turned up as well for some reason. We were tricked. This woman is a con artist and a liar. BBC Eye investigation follows how Azarnik, a 40-year-old former teacher, used the Telegram channel to lure young men, often from poor countries, into joining Russia's military. Damn. I thought this was going to be a story. Oh, wow. Oof, the confetti went off again. Oh, let me put the confetti cannon away. Sorry about that. So I thought that was going to be a story about, like, Americans, who've, like, left America because it was too woke and gone to live in Russia. And now they're dead. That's what I thought it was going to be. I'm so sorry. I got everyone excited there. Everyone was like, "Oh, great! We're gonna learn this funny story about these stupid fucking Americans who have gone, I'm gonna fight for Russia against the tyranny of Ukraine." And then they get there and they're like, "I didn't know how to actually fight." But it wasn't. It's a story about a woman who's honey trapping men from developing nations or nations that are coming out of war into coming over and fighting for Russia. It just goes to show, though, overall, Russia aren't the good guys. There's no stories of Ukrainians going out and fooling people into fighting on the Ukrainian front lines. That doesn't happen. It happens a lot with the Russians. It's almost as if they're the bad guys in all this. Almost. But yeah, I've read some stories. I've seen some stories about Americans going over to get away from all the wokeness in Russia, in America. They've been coming to Russia. And I'm just looking at these stories going, you fucking knobheads. You absolute fucking knobheads. But yeah, these people exist. They hate homosexuals so much that they decided to go and kill some Ukrainians who aren't gay, possibly. I don't know. They might be. They hate gay people so much they've decided to die with their guts spilt out all over them at the age of 32 in a frozen field in eastern Ukraine. Cool. Excellent. Wonderful stuff. Giraffes are evolution's sunroof testers. Yeah, that's true. I hope Phil is doing a video on UKIP's proposed logo today. Oh, God, have they got a logo? Oh, my God, just seen a logo proposal for the Libertarian Party with a griffin and a chainsaw. What on earth is going on at the Literature Commission today? First UKIP and now this. A griffin and the chainsaw. Is it Nick Griffin? Is he being chopped in half by the chainsaw? Because that'd be quite cool. Sympathy for a guy, but nasty woman reinforcing stereotype. Yeah. Does that mean Graham grew? Grew? What makes me grew? I grew? What? Instead of medicating people with ADHD so they can act like everyone else, let's adapt ourselves so we can allow them to live authentically, says Jenny Robinson. Yeah, but I don't want people helping me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to help me all the time. You have to put like a glass of water on my desk every morning. You want to come around and do that, Jenny? It's hard. Like, there's some things I need to be able to do for myself. I'm giving it a go. Trying to just overcome some of my traits, but at the same time, at least I know what they are now and why I do them, and I don't beat myself up as much as I used to, which is cool. They hate LGBT so much they subscribe to us. Yeah. Says L. Giraffes evolved from Scousers. They wouldn't wind their necks in. It's very true. Griffins come from people finding the petrified nest of Triceratops in the Gobi Desert. Ooh. I love the word Triceratops. Almost as good as Diplodocus, although that is the best word ever. Hocus pocus, Diplodocus. Trump would probably claim he's taller than a giraffe. He would. Graham, get yourself onto the Electoral Commission website today. Logo submissions are wild. says Nick and Dip. I'll have to have a look at that in a bit. Let's see what else is on the news. Mandelson makes personal apology for continuing Epstein friendship after going on the TV the other day, talking to Laura Kunzberg and talking about how he didn't care. He said it wasn't his problem. He's gay. He had nothing to do with it. He didn't need to apologise for being mates with a massive pedo. But now he's decided he does need to apologise for that. Someone's had a word in his ear, clearly. Next up, Minnesota sues Trump administration to block immigration agents' deployment. That sounds good to me. And what else have we got on the news? Eyewitnesses are talking about the deadly crackdown in Iran, which we were talking about yesterday. Would the Iranian government say they're up for discussion? Okay, good. Let's have a bit more Georgia instead of war. And thousands of people in Sussex and Kent are still without water. Because if you put all our eggs in one basket, and then they took the eggs and they gave them to the shareholders. Nice. And so, yeah, I think that's all the news that's fit to print, isn't it, for today? Is there anything else? Is there anything I've missed? If there's anything I've missed that you wanted to discuss, please let me know. But we will be covering a lot of international, worldwide goings-on tonight on Geoscope at 7:30 with me and Ollie Bowler Hatman, our second favourite, third favourite, fourth favourite, our first favourite Yorkshireman. And we've got also tomorrow morning, we've got another round of Morning Brew, but also we've got PMQs and the Rabbit Hole, in which we're going to be doing a bit of a Room 101. We're going to be doing a little bit of a homage to Room 101, where I'm going to be putting things into Room 101, and you will be allowed to vote on whether they should go into Room 101 or not. It should be fun, so join us for that. Anything but politics tomorrow at 6 o'clock here on the Politics Social channel. Defending your relationship with a convicted child molester, that's kind of sharp political instincts that they mean. People calling Bandy back. Yes, Urbane Legends. It's fucking it's maddening. It's infuriating. I mean, how can it be so shit? UKIP logo is a Nazi iron cross. Oh my god! Wowzers! Trousers. Jenny says, sorry about my ADHD comment. My experience of it is heavily medicated children in schools. Look, Jenny, I mean, at the moment, we are in a state of flux because it'll level off in a bit where we understand ADHD more, we understand the medication more people have done titration, understand what works for them and what doesn't work for them, what side effects, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, when I was in school, there were so few kids that were diagnosed with ADHD. One of my good friends was one of them. He was diagnosed and he was put on Ritalin, but he was only allowed to be on it for like 6 months, and he had 6 months off, 6 months on, 6 months off. And the 6 months that he was on it, he could focus, he could get his work done, he could do everything, he could like operate on daily tasks. And then when he was off it, he couldn't do it. And then when he was 16, they said adults don't take these drugs, adults can't have ADHD, so we're going to stop your program now. And he didn't get any medication for his ADHD again until he was nearly 40. So this is why we're going through this period at the moment where the government don't really know what to do about it. The NHS don't know what to do about it. These private companies don't know what to do about it. But as long as people find a way, and I think that the amount of information that's out there now on the internet on how ADHD affects different people and how it affects them differently and all that kind of stuff, I think it's really helpful. I think it's really, really helpful. And the biggest help that I've had personally from all this and from this, people are going, oh, everyone's getting diagnosed with ADHD. But my diagnosis helped me forgive myself for stupid shit I've done in the past and stupid shit I continue to do today. I'm not saying it wasn't entirely my fault. I'm not taking any responsibility for stupid shit that I've ever done. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I shouldn't apologize for stupid shit that I've done. But when I beat myself up over doing things, I understand now it's because I'm trying to knock a round shape into a square hole. It just would not fit. I cannot do that. I cannot do what, for instance, Phil Morehouse does. He does 2 videos a day, scripted to camera. I cannot do that. I've tried my best. I was going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't seeing my family. I wasn't eating. I wasn't drinking. I was trying to get this fucking video done. I just couldn't do it. And I thought it was just because I was shit. I'm not very good at presenting. I'm not very good at talking to a camera. I'm not very good at articulating the words that I need to say. And maybe I'm not very good at reading. Maybe my reading skills are, whatever it is. But actually, no, it's not. It's just I was trying to knock a round shape into a fucking square hole. And it just wouldn't go. So take the path of least resistance. Find a way that works for you and do it. And I don't have a problem with people taking medicine. And we need to stop having a go at people taking medicine, because we never do this for physical ailments. We only do it for mental ailments. You don't say to someone, oh, you're taking your insulin again for your diabetes. When are you gonna get rid of that shit? You don't need it. When are you gonna have a walk? When are you go for a walk instead? That'll sort you out. It just doesn't work like that. And yes, some medicines work better for some people, don't work at all for others. It's just the way it is. Everyone's unique, everyone's different, everyone has a different experience of this shit. But being given the opportunity to find out what works for you, putting systems in place, getting therapy, getting the medication that you need to just function in a way that makes life worth living. I think that's really, really important. So yeah, and there will be mistakes. There will be mistakes made. And there will be side effects. And there will be problems. Of course there will be. But if we can manage these things in a way that means that the vast majority of people don't go through their lives thinking that they're somehow shit human beings, like failed human beings because of the way that their brain is wired, then I think that's a good thing. Aid Thompson in real life is scary enough. HD will be frightening. Is Aid in HD? This is in 4K, isn't it? This should be going out in 4K. Diz says, Graham, 100% it helped me too. Same game, it made me candid to myself, says I've been legends. Diz says, you must have spoken to the same people I did. Possibly. And Elle says, Sarah, I take nothing for my BPD. Well, that's another thing. We were talking about this, weren't we? So one of the things they do for borderline is they give cognitive behavioral therapy, but you only get like 6 sessions and then it ends. This is ridiculous. Some things like aren't going to change. It's like going, if you've got like a physical problem and like thinking it's going to get better. Do you know what I mean? Like giving someone 6 weeks of benefits because they're in a wheelchair, and after 6 weeks they're like, oh, you've had your 6 weeks now. It's like, yeah, I'm still in a wheelchair. Yeah, but you've had your... is AD treatable or curable, says George. It's treatable. It's not curable. That's the way your brain is wired. It's like being autistic, which is on the same sort of spectrum out there. It's just the way your brain is wired in a particular way. And there are therapies and medicine and things that you can do to help yourself, but also knowing about this stuff helps other people. It helps other people understand that you're not just being a twat. And that's really important for people who are autistic, people who have got ADHD, people who have borderline. You're not just being a twat. You're not just being an arsehole. And even people who've got like narcissistic personality disorder, right? They don't want that necessarily. They're born that way. And they take steps. They take clear steps to get therapy, to get help, to stop them behaving in a way that is toxic to those around them. But maybe keep some of the good points of narcissistic personality disorder, which is things like leadership skills. I mean, psychopaths make good leaders. They don't care about anyone or anything. But us talking about this and people knowing about it and understanding, oh, why is that person just talking all the time? Why won't they shut up? Oh, they're ADHD. Okay. Makes other people more forgiving as well. So yeah, I've had no problem with people talking about it more, of it being a thing that that is happening in our lives. That we need to take account of. You wouldn't have a go at someone in a wheelchair for not dancing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd think, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you have a go at someone? In the same way, knowing that people have, knowing that these people, I don't like the fact that the D at the end of ADHD is a disability or whatever the fuck is that syndrome? What's it called? A dysfunction? Something like that. It's not. It's just the way your brain is wired. It's different. Just attention deficit hyperactivity difference. It's not a disorder. It's a fucking difference. That's all it is. And yeah, so but then again, there's some people out there who are just twats. Just a twat with ADHD. I've heard it said ADHD is curable, but the answer Graham gave me is correct. It's not curable. It's like trying to cure you. It's like trying to cure the color of your eyes. It's something you're born with. I suppose you could wear contact lenses, but it's not changing the picture. Elle says they don't follow up on me at all, but for the best, there's more of a wrecking ball in my life when they see me. That's fair enough, Elle. Everyone's brain is wired up differently. There's no such thing as a normal wired brain. That's absolutely true, Chris. Happy enough. For £10,000, you have to save a waiver. I will cure your lack of empathy and the TikTok, Twitter rot infection. I have it all. The Mike Tyson special. What? I don't follow that. Didn't Melania Trump call out President FDR for not dancing? Probably. She's problematic, that woman. People with neurodiversity have made an oversized contribution to humanity's progress. That is absolutely true, Urbane Legends, because otherwise that trait would have died out. Because ADHD and autism are inherited traits. The Gammons don't have a brain anyway, says Chris. But also, I mean, when I say that, it allows you to forgive yourself. It allows people to be, if they know you're ADHD and they know you're autistic, they will behave differently. They won't think that you're just being rude. I've had people get really fucking upset with someone for not making eye contact or not shaking their hand and making a big fucking song and dance about it. Usually older people who don't understand that people who are autistic don't want to make eye contact. They don't want that human contact of shaking someone's hand. And once you realize that, you go, okay, well, I'm not gonna press it. And it's not them being horrible. It's not them being rude. It's just that's the way they are. And you accommodate that. That's great. And even for me and people in my life, especially the older generation, who clearly now looking back have certain disorders or differences. Let's use the word differences. And it's made me forgive them a bit as well of stuff they've done in the past. Because they're going, oh, yeah, no one was diagnosing this stuff back in the 80s. People just didn't know. Well, Newton put pins in his eyes to find secret messages in the Bible. Oh, God. That's horrible. Yeah, he turned into a bit of a nusser at the end, didn't he? Isn't he? Like he was an alchemist. He wrote all these amazing books about how to, how to define the laws of the universe, define the laws of the universe, and then he started trying to make gold from base metal using lemon juice and copper. The story is Newton said a bod came between his eye and eye so I could see what happened. Oh God, sorry, I'm a bit squeamish about eyes. Can we stop talking about putting things in eyes? Einstein, Turing, Oppenheimer, Hawking all have fantastic minds. I did more for humanity than any gammon will ever do. Yeah. Probably because they do anything like me, they just couldn't shut their brain up. Their brain was just constantly on with 17 tabs running at any one time, just leaping from one thing to another. It's funny when I'm talking to Scott on the America show on here on stateside. And he's just like, what the fucking, just stop being so fucking ADHD. And I'm just like jumping from one topic to the next. It makes sense in my head. I make all the connections. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of that, which reminds me of that, which reminds me of that, which reminds me of that. But yeah, to anyone else watching, I don't know how you keep up. Happy says, I'm an autistic, but learn to power through my Esper just by learning how to feel triggers and to compensate for the social impression it might make for me to repel them, like swatting a fly. And the more you know about your condition and how it affects you personally, because like I say, everyone's different. It affects people differently. It's not like there is a set checklist that everyone who is autistic has these traits. Everyone who's ADHD has these traits. It doesn't work like that. You might have some of them, you might not have others. Like I say, everyone is different. The most complicated thing we know of in the entire universe is the human brain. Shine your telescope up into the sky at night. Find something that's more complex than the human brain. You won't find it. Does not exist. I wish my brain worked the same sometimes. It's learned to write hiragana in 3 days. What? I don't understand that. He's learned to write hiragana in 3 days. It's brilliant. And only 17 tabs going. I have hundreds of tabs open. It gets very tiring, says Chris C. Einstein has a huge library to which he referred constantly as he refused to remember anything. Get in touch with your human sides, both of them, the masculine and the feminine, yin yang, whatever you call it. I think, yeah. Well, the part of toxic masculinity is this idea that you're perfect. It's the world that's wrong. And this kills men. We're going to be talking about this. I'm going to do a special episode of The Intersection at the end of the month with Hannah Janes. And we're going to be talking about how Andrew Tate kills men, because he absolutely fucking does. And it's not just about the fact that he tells young men to treat women like shit and then they wonder why they're not getting anywhere. They wonder why they're incels, because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But also this idea of what a man is. And a man is someone who never retreat, never surrender, never accept there's anything wrong with you, never give in. And it means that there's a lot of men out there. And this is I mean, some women as well, but generally this is a male problem of they have a problem. And their arrogance, the patriarchy, toxic masculinity, whatever it is, prevents them from getting the help that they need. And this fuels so many social ills, so many. And you're not just talking about the obvious ones of incels being gobshites, but you're also talking about people who don't get their cancer diagnosed quick enough, people who don't get help with their mental health, people who refuse to do it because I am man. I do not need help, any help from anybody. I must not ask for help. I must not cry. I must not show emotion. And it's fucking men. Andrew Tate kills men. We'll be doing a whole episode about this. We'll be making all of our arguments for this. But he is absolutely fucking toxic for women. We know this, right? This is known. We had a whole TV series about it called Adolescence. But when it comes to the effect on men, he is absolutely 100% like causing harm, genuine, real harm to men. He is killing them to feather his own nest, to make more money, because it makes no sense for his business to drive away customers of his shite, people who eat his shite, eating his shite, and then they go and find someone who, who they like, who they want to be with, who likes them, they want to be with them, and they get together. They've now got a partner, and they stop watching Andrew Tate. Because why would you? I mean, Andrew Tate, well, anyone who's a fan of Andrew Tate is a huge red flag to women. So even if you don't act on the things that he tells you to do and the way he tells you to treat women, just saying out loud, I like watching Andrew Tate videos, means that you are much, much, much less likely to ever pick up, to ever find someone who wants to be with you, you know? I need to seriously move my backside. I have some orders to crack on with, but I'm struggling to motivate myself. Right, Chris C, let's get to work. I'm gonna fuck off now. So thank you so much for watching, Chris, and everyone else. Happy enough in there, and Martin Harrow, and Sid, and Andy, Urbane Legends. Great to have everyone in the chat. And we're all having a conversation here about ADHD and autism and borderline and narcissistic personality disorder. I mean, I guess that is a disorder, that one. But yeah, people finding out what they've got, accepting it, forgiving themselves, and looking for ways to just take the edge off. Nothing's going to cure it. Nothing's going to make money shower down from heaven. It just doesn't work that way. But if you can make your life more bearable, and more bearable possibly for the people around you as well, don't forget, then fucking do it. Just, suss out this stuff. Just be honest with yourself. Go back to the oracle's cave in Delphi, sign above the cave, know thyself. It's the most important life lesson you'd ever know. I mean, maybe that was just the one commandment. That'll do. Know thyself. But yeah, unfortunately, we live in a world where people have crazy ideas about who they are and where they fit into the whole scheme of things. And they have crazy ideas about who to follow and who to listen to. And a lot of those people are just doing it for the money. Grifters, the grift lords. The age of the grift lords. So, Yuri Infectov says, take care, you amazing buggers. Yeah, you absolutely amazing mofos. I'll see you tonight, hopefully, at 7:30 for Geoscope, where me and Ollie will be taking a trip around the world in news. And then I'll be back again tomorrow with another morning brew. So hopefully I will see you then. Until we meet again, I'll say thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all of the super chats. That was really kind of you. If you want to give us a like on the way out, that would be amazing. Just give us a quick like. That's all we need. Just a quick like. Get the algo fed. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification icon so you'll know when we're going live. Going live. We're live. Okay. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hello. Good evening. Welcome and goodbye.